People who have lost the love of their life. How did you get over it? I was 19 when my mom died in a car accident, and I thought nothing could ever hurt that much again. The funeral was a blur of casseroles and condolences. My dad had left when I was 12, so it was just me and a handful of relatives I barely knew. My Aunt Marlene showed up in designer clothes, dabbing at dry eyes while asking pointed questions about my mom's will. I inherited everything: the house, her savings, her life insurance policy. Marlene wasn't happy about being left out, but my mom had made her feelings clear years ago, after Marlene borrowed money and never paid it back. For 3 years, I lived like a ghost. I dropped out of college, worked part-time at a bookstore, and spent most evenings sitting in my mom's chair, wearing her old sweaters that still smelled like her vanilla perfume. The grief counselor said I needed to start living again, but I couldn't imagine caring about anything the way I'd cared about her. Then I met Adrian at a coffee shop on Elm Street. It was a Tuesday afternoon, and I was nursing my third cup of coffee while pretending to study. He was sitting 2 tables over, reading The Time Traveler's Wife, the same book my mom had read so many times the spine was cracked. When our eyes met, he smiled this shy, genuine smile that made my stomach flutter for the first time in years. "Great book," I said, nodding toward his table. "My mom recommended it," he replied. Then his face fell slightly. "She passed away last year. Cancer." Something about the way he said it, the quiet pain in his voice, made me feel less alone. We talked for hours about loss and books and the weird guilt that comes with laughing again after someone dies. He walked me to my car that day, and when he asked for my number, I actually wanted to give it to him. Our first date was perfect. He brought me daisies, not roses, because he remembered me mentioning they were my mom's favorite. He listened when I talked about her, never trying to fix my sadness or tell me to move on. Adrian had this way of making everything feel safe. When I had nightmares about the accident, he'd hold me until I stopped shaking. When I found one of my mom's old grocery lists and broke down crying in the kitchen, he sat on the floor with me and let me tell him about her terrible handwriting. He started leaving little notes for me, just like she used to. "Have a wonderful day," tucked in my coffee mug. "You're stronger than you know," taped to my bathroom mirror. It felt like having a piece of her back. We moved in together after 18 months. Adrian suggested we live at his place, said my house held too many painful memories. I kept meaning to go through my mom's things properly, but it was easier to just visit occasionally and pretend she might walk through the door any minute. Last Christmas, he proposed with my mom's engagement ring. I'd told him where it was hidden, and he'd driven across town to get it while I was at work. When he got down on one knee in our living room, I sobbed so hard I could barely say yes. The wedding planning was a whirlwind. Adrian insisted on handling most of the details, saying I'd been through enough stress. My Aunt Marlene called a few times, suddenly interested in reconnecting, but Adrian always seemed to intercept her messages. "She's just trying to manipulate you," he'd say. "Some people only show up when they want something." Yesterday, I was cleaning out his closet to make room for my wedding dress when I found a shoebox hidden behind his winter coats. Inside were dozens of handwritten notes, my mom's handwriting. "Have a great day, sweetie. Don't forget your umbrella. Mom loves you." All the little lunch notes she used to write me, the ones I thought I'd lost in the move after she died. At the bottom of the box was a letter addressed to Adrian, dated 3 months before we randomly met. It was from my Aunt Marlene, my mom's sister, who I barely spoke to anymore. "Here are Eliza's notes like you asked. She keeps them in her memory box. The coffee shop plan should work. She goes there every Tuesday at 2 p.m. to study." Adrian hadn't fallen in love with me by chance. My aunt had hired him to seduce me so she could contest my mom's will. The inheritance was worth $800,000. When he came home that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table with everything spread out. "How much is she paying you?" I asked quietly. He couldn't even look at me.